Hi, I'm Pav.
And I'm Neil.
And welcome to the Top 10 of Anything podcast.
Let's start the countdown.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Back not so long ago, the movie song would be your introduction to the latest upcoming movie. Another trailer, if you will. Some foot-stomping, adrenaline-rushing banger, or an emotional-filled, glorious ballad where the video would have the artist singing their little hearts out, intercut with clips of said movie. Those were the days. It seems like a thing of the past. And talking of things of the past, here's Fact Hunter Neil with 10 movie song facts.
Thank you very much, Pav. So here we go.
Sorry, it's a bit loud. So much for backing music.
Yeah. So,
Great start.
You Can't Touch This is the most used song in movies with over 15 credits. The Bodyguard soundtrack is the biggest selling soundtrack so far with over 42 million copies sold worldwide. Speaking of The Bodyguard, Whitney's I Will Always Love You held the UK top spot longer than any other movie song. It was there for 10 weeks. The first ever movie soundtrack you could buy was Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. White Christmas by Bing Crosby is not only the biggest selling movie song, but also the biggest selling single in the world. The first film to use songs was The Jazz Singer in 1927. Due to the intense physical demands of singing, none of the cast of Les Miserables were allowed to drink alcohol. Henry Winkler was first offered the role of Danny Zuko in Grease and even tested on the Summer Nights song. And Mark Knopfler refused to do the soundtrack for The Princess Bride unless Rob Reiner included a piece of memorabilia from the film This Is Spinal Tap. On average, it costs around $60,000 to use a popular song in a movie.
Oh. Oh, was that it?
That's it. That's all 10.
Sorry. Well done, Neil.
Thank you very much.
Well done. Sorry. Oh, dear. What a great start. What a great start. I was all over the place then. Welcome, everybody, to the top 10 movie songs. I'll stipulate before we start that we've got no Disney songs in this one. We just thought because that gives us another episode, basically. You can do a whole episode on Disney songs. Thank you very much for the top 10, Neil. Ladies and gentlemen, let's introduce our guest. It's someone we haven't spoken to for a few years, and that's without COVID. That's just with not my speaking to her for a few years. Ladies and gentlemen, Jess Bracey is joining us. Wonderfully to see you.
Hey. So good to see you guys.
So how long ago was it when bus stop radio was all a rage? That's got 7 years ago.
7, 8 years ago, I'd say.
It was when we started, wasn't it, Neil? So it was like 2013 we started podcasting.
We started the Pancast show for it, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that would have been 2014.
Yeah, 2014. So I went into the life of freelancing and set up Bus Stop Radio as like a community internet radio station, and then things got a bit busy and then I had to leave the country. I wasn't like arrested or, exported or anything like that, or deported. And that's the story. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, how cool would that have been if we'd have known you and you were a fugitive? That would have been amazing.
I'd be like the best getaway because they're like, oh no, Jess Bracey will never get away as a spy.
Yeah, and then we're talking to you and all of a sudden the cops burst in. We could go viral because they're dragging you away while you're doing number 3 of your top movie songs.
I won't tell you where I am at the moment, just in case.
We'll keep that. We'll keep that on the down low, as I think the kids say. Right, so movie songs. I mean, you came in. You were a guest on our Movie Heaven, I think, weren't you?
Yeah, that was probably about 7 years ago.
So that would have been around about the same time. So we know that you love movies. How hard was it for you to whittle down 10 movie songs?
It was difficult, but I think I took a lot of the movie songs from family favorites, what I grew up with, and just the films and the songs that resonate most with me. And then there's a few in there during my time working and living alongside the military, because you know you have the standout military films sometimes that have great soundtracks to go with it. So, but I'd say a lot of it has been influenced from growing up in Gloucester with friends and family.
Right. Because I must admit, I said before we went on air that I had the biggest sort of pre-top 10 lineup. I had at least 45 songs on my list, and they just kept coming. And then so I was talking to somebody, Mel, who we've had on the podcast a couple of times, and she said, "Oh, did you have such and such on?" I went, "Oh, no, I didn't even think about that one." So it could have easily been 50 songs on the list to start with. So it was very hard to whittle them down. But I think I've got a couple of surprises on my list. So, right, let's kick them off. Jess, give us your number 10 movie song, please.
So my number 10 is a really random one, and you're probably going to laugh when I say this, but it's from the film Ali G.
Okay.
And it is Majuli. Because I remember watching it with my parents, which is shocking. And my dad always loved that song, so playing a bit of Shaggy in the car.
Yeah, it was Shaggy, wasn't it? Yeah, it was Shaggy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's someone that seems to have didn't he have a resurgence in a couple of years ago with Sting?
He did. They went on a huge tour and did an album together.
So what was that all about?
Don't know. Sting finding his inner reggae, maybe.
Yeah.
Is that what it? So did they do like Me Roxanne? Did they do that?
Roxanne.
I don't know. I didn't hear any of that stuff. I didn't know whether or not it was like a tribute to the Police, and it was just like reggae version. Well, mind you, a lot of the Police stuff was sort of reggae, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
Good movie though, Ali G. I think that doesn't get the sort of kudos that it should get as a movie. It's really funny.
I think just Sacha Baron Cohen as an actor is incredible. When you think of him and just how diverse he's been, from Ali G to Borat, he is a talent. People think he's a fool, but I think he's a very talented fool.
I do, yeah.
He's
I
a bit
agree.
of a comedy genius, I think. The way he gets people to react and interact with him, I think it's amazing.
And I know
I've
a lot
seen
of
Ali G in ages.
No, Martin
in it,
Freeman's in it. I think Tony Way's in it as well, I think.
Yeah.
I think loads of people have said this, but I would have loved to have seen Sacha Baron Cohen's version of Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, oh God, yeah.
Because he was originally supposed to be Freddie Mercury in Bohemian Rhapsody, and then it didn't go the way. I think he wanted to concentrate more on the sordid side of Freddie's life.
He wanted it no holds, didn't he? And the rest of Queen didn't want it like that. So
No. Okay.
Fair enough.
Good start there, Jess. Good start. Neil, then, you're number 10.
So it's Running Up That Hill by Placebo. Their version of it on Daybreakers. A vampire film starring Ethan Hawke and William Dafoe in that. But that version, I think, is even better than Kate Bush's, to me. And it's on my playlist quite regularly. So
Is that your workout playlist, Neil?
Not Running Up That Hill. That's more of a sat down chilling playlist. My workout playlist on that. It'd be the slowest workout ever, wouldn't it? Because they really stripped it back. It wasn't. It's a good version. Have you ever heard it?
Still have the wow 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 bit on it.
Yeah.
Oh, did it? All right. Okay.
But it's a great song. It really is a good song. So
I can't say whether I've ever heard it or not.
I would suggest checking it out. It's beautiful the way they've done it. Beautiful.
Okay.
Haunting, I think, is the word.
Yeah, it's one of those bands you think, where are they now? Because back in the mid-noughties, they were all over HMV when we used to go and take our pocket money to buy a CD that week.
Yeah.
No,
they did.
They were the one where the lead singer had like floppy hair but wore makeup and stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, and they did tries like Nancy Boy. And that was a great track.
Nancy Boy, that was it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I wouldn't be able to sing it to you if I don't think. How did it go, Jess?
I'm not singing it.
Oh, yeah.
It's on the radio.
You wouldn't want to be singing.
I don't sing the song.
Yeah, he's got quite a unique voice, hasn't he?
Right.
So
that was their big hit, wasn't it?
Nancy Boy and what's the other one? Oh, I can't think off the top of my head. Sorry.
No.
But yeah, they had two big hits. Running Up That Hill did well in America more so than here.
Oh right,
But,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I highly recommend checking it out, pal.
All right,
Highly
thank you. I will do that. Well, I'll find when we have our video playlist that goes with our for the Patreon, so I'll have a listen to it then when I do that. Okay, my number 10 is Singing in the Rain by Gene Kelly from the movie Singing in the Rain. I love Gene Kelly. I just think he's mesmerizing to watch. He's like one of those effortless dancers, but he didn't really look like a dancer. Do you know what I mean? He seemed quite sort of almost like a boxer. He seemed quite squat and quite sort of chunky. Well, not chunky because he wasn't chunky, but not my kind of chunky. But
he didn't have the usual dancer physique, did he?
Well, like Fred Astaire was very sort of slim and elegant, whereas Gene Kelly seemed a bit more. I keep saying squat, but he was like, obviously he was shorter. But Singing in the Rain, that whole section of the movie is just fantastic. And obviously, it was taken off by Morecambe and Wise, wasn't it? The very famous scene. But I think I'm right in saying that it was a little bit like James Stewart in It's a Wonderful Life, that he had the flu when he was filming that.
That one song, didn't he? Yeah.
He was really bad. And obviously, but you wouldn't know. No. You just wouldn't have a clue that there was anything wrong. He was at the height of his powers. And any movie with Gene Kelly in it,
apparently he was a bit of a git to Debbie Reynolds in it.
Was he?
Yeah, pushing her more than she could, telling her she couldn't sing. I was just in one of the books I've been reading recently.
Ruined one of my heroes.
Sorry, mate. It's hearsay, isn't it? It might not be true.
It might not be, or he might have been doing it just to get a fantastic performance out of it.
Exactly, pushing her to her limits.
But there you go. So that's my number 10. Go on then, Jess. Give us your number 9.
Okay, number 9. I see a theme rolling here now. I'm ashamed to say it. Okay, so my number 9 is taken from the 50 Shades Freed film. So it was the third one in the series. And I remember watching this in RF Akrotiri in Cyprus when it was released back in 2018. And the cinema was filled to the brim with girls who were drinking from their bottle of wine with a straw. And there was one guy at the back on his own, just like watching 50 Shades. And there's a track in it by Julian Michaels, who's done a lot of country music since then. And it's called Heaven. And it's just a really lovely track.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever seen that movie. I've only seen the first one.
Yeah, that was awful as well. I don't know why I watched all 3 of them. It must have been so weak.
It was definitely one of those phenomena that seemed to like be really big, but then really disappear really quickly. It was really weird that it was the when you're in the middle of it all, it was the thing that everybody was going to see, and sort of took over from Twilight a little bit in regards to something that women could go and, not being sexist, but like women could go and watch it on their own in the cinema. I've not seen any of them. I really
just saw the first one. That was enough for me.
Yeah.
Did you read the books, Jess?
I never read the books, and the people said I read a few pages and then had to turn it down because the grammar was so terrible. But Jamie Dornan, everyone fell in love with Jamie Dornan because of those films. But when you see him as an actor in serious dramas, there was a great film about an Afghanistan war correspondent, and he was the photographer. For the life of me, I can't remember the name of the film, but he is just an incredible actor as a serious actor, not getting dookie with it.
Yeah, he was very scary in The Fall, wasn't he?
Yeah,
with Gillian Anderson, he was very scary. Yeah,
I haven't seen that either. I'm not going to be any good with this. I haven't seen any of these things you're talking
about. It gets better from my side, don't worry.
Okay. Go on then, Neil. You're number 9.
So it's Mr. E's Beautiful Blues by the Eels from the film Road Trip. It's a really happy-go-lucky song. And, well, I'm a big Eels fan anyway, so it's always on my agenda. But they do a lot of movie songs, Eels. They've done a lot in Shrek and other bits. But this one, it really fit with the tone of the film. I don't know whether anybody's seen Road Trip. I think Tom Green's in it.
A long time ago.
Yeah, it's basically, just to sum it up, a couple make a sex tape. He accidentally posts it to his friend at uni, and they've all got to go off and try and rescue the tape before anything gets published. It's a great song. It's a real feel-good song. It just makes me happy when I hear it, and I hear it a lot.
Well, everyone knows, listening to this podcast, you're an Eels fan, aren't you?
Yes.
One of your favorites. Road Trip was one of those movies that sort of it was when American Pie was like the big thing, wasn't it? It was all that. Yeah. Did they make any sequels to that?
I don't, not off the top of my head, do I know. If they did, it would be direct to like video or whatever they called it.
Yeah.
Direct.
I can remember finding it quite funny.
It was very funny.
Yeah.
I still found it funny now. Yeah, it's a good film. It did really well at the cinema, apparently, for its genre. So
it had one of the guys from American Pie in it, didn't it? I think. Didn't it have one that was actually like
oh yeah, it was
the one that had the affair with Stifler's mum. Like the well-spoken one. I don't know. If only there was some kind of like information superhighway I could look at to get this information.
About movies, yeah.
That's our encyclopedia. But it was very much at the time. Like, what was it? Not Another Teen Movie that was out. At
all
that
of those,
time.
yeah,
all of those sort of films.
Yeah. Some of them were a bit, but some were really funny. It's really good. Yeah.
Old School was another one.
Was very funny. That's where Will Ferrell became a bit of a sensation, wasn't it?
That's right. Okay, then my number 9. Now I could have chosen any song from this movie, but my favourite song was one that wasn't even in the actual musical, and it's "Grease" by Frankie Valli from Grease. So the first song that I think was written by the Bee Gees, or at least written by Barry Gibb, I think.
Yeah, I'm sure it was the Bee Gees. Yeah,
but a great way to start a fantastic movie that, again, could have been any song really from this this movie. I also used to love the cartoon at the start, when especially the bit with the car with the two bums sticking out of the car, because it was all about was it Moonies they call them? Yeah. Oh God, that takes me back.
You didn't realise how rude it was until a few years later, and you watch it again, you think, that's a bit saucier than I remember. Yeah.
There's a couple of bits in it where it gets quite sort of near the knuckle, and with what they're talking about and things that they do and stuff. You don't realise it when you're watching it as a movie at Christmas and everyone's enjoying the songs. And then when you get a little bit older, you sort of realise that the lyrics to Grease Lightning are a little bit more raunchy than you thought they were. Oh my God.
Very much so, isn't it? I believe one of the streaming services that had it cut certain bits out of it for fear of offence.
Oh, why? There's nothing offensive about it. It's just...
It's the way we are now.
Yeah, it's just naughty words. That's all it is. It's just words.
Naughty words.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, so that's mine. Grease, Frankie Valli by Grease? No. From Grease.
By Grease.
By Grease, from Grease, for Grease. Jess, your number 8, please.
Okay, so my number 8 is from the film The Beaches, and it's Bette Midler's Hero. Did you ever know that you're my hero?
Wind Beneath My Wings.
Wings Beneath My Wings, that's the song.
Yeah.
It's just one of those films you can't help but cry watching it, and you just want to hug your loved ones, and it's just one of those films that gets you right in the feels.
Well, I must say I've never seen that film either. I mean, who cares about spoilers? So why is it so sad? What happens in it that...
Oh, it's about two friends who've known each other from childhood, and they grow up together, and one of the friends gets cancer, and she sadly passes away, and the other friend looks after her daughter into later years in life, and that's what the song's about, really. The Wings Beneath My Wings, and it's just a really, really lovely song.
Oh, well, thanks for bringing everything down, Jess.
I know.
you asked. It's like the Kramer versus Kramer sort of weepy, It just gets you.
Is there cancer in Kramer versus Kramer?
No, but in the same sense of everything is there to trigger the emotions, isn't it? It's done purposely.
Like Avengers Endgame, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Right, I understand.
More like
now. If you put it in that context, I understand. Come on, Neil, you know me. There was always a thing that there's a bit at the end of that song where it sounds like she's singing out of tune.
Yeah.
When she's singing, she's going fly, fly. God, it sounds like she's singing out of tune. I like Bette Midler, I must admit. I think she's a lot of fun. Not that I know her personally. I didn't go out with her last Friday. I just know.
It's like that one moment, babe. Like what happens?
Yeah. Go on then, Neil. You're number 8.
Perfect Day by Lou Reed from Trainspotting. It's a beautiful song. It really is a lovely song. Very mellow, and it fits the moment. It's sort of a weird bit, but it's the OD moment in Trainspotting where he sinks into the floor and then obviously gets rushed to hospital, and you hear the perfect
Is that
day.
Perfect Day, is it? I didn't realize that was that. Okay.
Yeah, and it plays right through all the way when he's getting his help and right into that bit. I love the song. I mean, I didn't like the I have to admit, I didn't like the ensemble piece they did with Tom Jones and all that.
What, on the BBC?
Comic relief.
Yeah, do you remember that?
I really like that.
Do you? Oh,
I did,
can't.
yeah.
I'm
Especially the
asking-
bit when Bette Midler sounded like she was singing off key.
Oh, how did it go again?
That's a really
Day, day.
What- It's what annoys me is I have to say it's Heather Small and Tom Jones.
Right.
Everybody's really subtle and gentle, and then they come in and go, "Bah!" And I'm like, no, I can't be doing that. I can't do that.
Yeah, but I don't think, well, especially those two, I don't think they can sing subtly, can
No.
they?
Well, no.
Tom Jones just is like
the voice.
yeah. He's never going to do anything subtly, and that's no disrespect to Tom Jones. I think he's an amazing vocalist.
Oh God, he is.
And the
but
fact
he's
that
got
he's
a style.
what is he, 80 odd?
Must be.
I think
Get
he
me
is
close.
80.
Yeah.
If only we had some kind of information superhighway, I could find out that information. I just noticed that he's booked to play in the summer at Longleat, to do a gig in Longleat.
What, Tom Jones?
Yeah. Running around away from the lions.
If you
While he's trying to, it's not unusual, Jesus Christ.
He'd scare him off, wouldn't he, with that voice?
Probably
Go away!
Mellow it out. Yeah. Be gone, tigers.
Can you imagine that's the way they did a gig? They just put him in the compound and open up the gates.
Call him move
And-
faster.
Yeah, and he keeps
I think I better dance now. Oh, Jesus.
I'd love it. Tom Jones, the
I'd
zookeeper.
spend 20 quid on a ticket to go and see that.
Oh, wouldn't we just?
Oh, dear. Okay, good one, Neil. Well done. Okay, my number 7 was from the movie The Graduate, and it's Mrs. Robinson, Simon and Garfunkel. Fantastic song.
Brilliant song.
I think Paul Simon's one of the greatest songwriters of all time.
Underappreciated, I think, as well.
You
when
think?
you talk to people, I do, because you talk to people now and they're like, oh, I didn't realize he wrote all of that. I didn't realize it was him. So I do think he's a little bit underappreciated.
Do you just go up to people in the street and start talking to them about
Yeah.
Paul Simon?
I just shout, Paul Simon.
So goes, yeah, no.
Yeah.
Oh, imagine if you had two friends called Paul Simon. Paul and Simon. Oh, you got two mates called Paul and Simon.
I got
Bet you have.
Simon. I haven't got a Paul.
Okay. Yeah, so it's I love the film as well. The film's it's a very much a film of its time, I think. I'm surprised no one's really done a remake of The Graduate.
Well, I
It's been
thought they did
lampooned a lot.
yeah,
hasn't
they've
it?
tried to, haven't they, remake it? But I don't think it's one of those ones that's going to work now.
No, possibly. Yeah.
Mrs. Robinson, you're trying to just seduce me.
Is that your Dustin Hoffman?
Yeah, I didn't have the
That's a
Scotch, I
productive
didn't have the
voice.
nasal
Here
bit
it is.
quite right.
Do
I
it
needed
again. Do it again.
Two Vicks up my nose. Mrs. Robinson. No, we'll move on.
Oh my god, I didn't realize this is it now. The new thing, Neil starts doing impersonations as we're
Well, I'll take over from where you left off.
okay. Yeah, so that's my that's my number 7. Jess, then give us your number 7. Oh no, that was my number.
That was your number 8, wasn't it?
Oh shit! Yeah, no, that was my number 7. I've gone and I've jumped the gun.
Oh, you need to swap them round.
I'll swap it
Oh.
round then. It doesn't matter, does it? I mean, that'll be my number. Oh, I'm gonna really confuse everything. That was my number 8, which was my number 7, but will be my number 8. Jess, what's your number 7?
It's interesting because my number 7 is Mrs. Robinson from the film The Wolf of Wall Street, but by the Lemonheads.
Right. Okay.
Still a good version.
Yeah. So it's a bit more rocky, but I just love that film. If I'm ever on a plane, I'll probably watch that film twice because that means I'm almost there.
Yeah.
It's a good, like 3-hour film.
It is.
Yeah.
So watch
crazy.
it twice and then I'm almost in Dubai. So
Yeah.
but I'm a big fan of sort of films based on real life stories. And that was just such a crazy story that you think, gosh, this is actually real. And the soundtrack is epic to that film.
That is one
Yeah.
mad film. It is crazy. And when you think that, like you say, it's based on a true story, makes it even crazier with some of the stuff that the guy got up to.
Mm.
And so you think Leonardo DiCaprio, he didn't even get a look in for the Oscars with that. And I thought his representation of his character and just how obscene it was a shame. But obviously he went on to win his Oscar in the end.
It's a great movie, but nobody in the movie is that likable. Do you know what I mean?
No one is.
Weird, isn't it?
Yeah, no one
It's
is.
a
Likeable.
weird thing where you don't really like the person, but the movie's so intriguing.
I suppose I don't know whether you feel a little bit happy that he sort of gets his comeuppance at the end, but then I'm assuming he's rich now, because didn't he do like self-help books and
he did
and stuff on how to become rich and
the story of Wolf of Wall Street, the actual story sold millions, didn't it?
Motivational speaking.
There you go, see. And they
Yeah,
say
and
crime
that-
doesn't pay, does it?
No.
Eh? Yeah, I don't know.
Get a lot of stuff and go into high performance. That's what you need to do.
Go on then, Neil. You're number 7.
My number 7 is Pinball Wizard, The Who. From Tommy.
Pinball Wizard?
Pinball Wizard.
Oh, Pinball Wizard. I thought it said Pimple. I thought it said Pimple.
No,
Pimple Wizard.
Pinball Wizard.
Pinball
Wizard. The Who,
It sounds like
Tommy.
Dr. Spot or something. That you'd watch on like Dave or something.
Pimple Popper.
Pimple Popper. Pinball Wizard.
Pinball Wizard, The Who, from the
Right.
film Tommy, which is also a musical. But I really like this song. Elton John actually sings it in the
I was going to
movie.
say, I thought it was Elton John.
Yeah, you haven't never seen this, have you, Perth?
I've
Tommy?
never seen it, no.
No. It's worth watching. Have you ever seen it, Jess?
No, I haven't.
Tommy?
No.
No,
It's just because Roger Daltrey looks scary. It's the eyes.
the whole thing is quite creepy.
Oh.
Tina Turner bit is honestly really quite, as the Acid Queen, that is quite freaky. But it's Ken Russell,
Right.
so that says it all. If you know what a Ken Russell film is,
Yeah. Bette Midler doesn't turn up, does she? And start singing.
what does she sing again?
That's mate. That would be an acid trip, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't it?
But watch the movie, because Keith Moon is legendary as the uncle.
Right.
Honestly, he's so funny in it.
Okay, is that
But-
streaming anywhere?
I haven't seen it anywhere, but it probably is. It must be, I would have thought.
Yeah. I'll have to
But
have a look.
yeah.
If only there was some kind of electronic device I could look and see whether it was streaming anywhere.
Where's Blockbusters when you need it?
Exactly. Where is
Exactly.
Blockbusters when you need it? Right then, my number 7, which was my number 8, but I've decided as we do it to move it up to number 7, is Let the River Run by Carly Simon from the movie Working Girl. Obviously, I was a massive Harrison Ford fan back in the 80s. I had a massive, I don't know what they used to call the big, massive posters, the movie posters. Neil used to get with it.
Oh, I can't remember what they were called.
I
Yeah.
know. But I had one on my ceiling where it had, and not for those reasons. It was just because it was a big. I didn't have anywhere else to put it. It was a big poster. But I had that.
The cover up on the ceiling.
Exactly. That's the reason, Jess. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
it. Yeah. And I had the soundtrack to Working Girl, because the sort of motif, the musical motif of Let the River Run, was it all the way through the movie. It was part of the instrumental bits, but it's a great song. And I don't know if either of you guys have watched Working Girl. You've never
Not
seen
recently.
it, Jess?
Is that Jennifer Aniston?
No, it's Harrison Ford, Melanie Griffith, and Sigourney Weaver,
Oh.
with Alec Baldwin and also Joan Cusack, but like there's big 80s hair. Yeah, it's a great movie, great ending to the film, and just it's a fantastic song to go with it.
Have you watched it recently?
I think I watched it about 6 months ago. Yeah, really enjoyed it. Really, it's on
Is
Disney
it
Plus.
dated? Oh, is it?
Well, it's dated because it's
Oh,
a
80s,
real
but-
80s movie, but it's just loads of fun, and it's Melanie Griffith hoovering in the nude. I mean, what more do you need? It's, I mean, that gets my ticket. I don't know why I did the Eric Morgan with my glasses there.
No, we don't know what's going on.
There you go. So that's my number 7. Jess, what's your number 6?
Number 6 is, I've lost it. Where's it gone? Oh, The Great Gatsby. Again, another Leonardo DiCaprio film. Jack White, Love is Blindness.
Okay.
don't
Again,
remember
I
the
think the
song.
soundtrack to that film is unbelievable. So it's a Baz Luhrmann film. Yeah, just the lyrics in it is brilliant. Love is Blindness, and that's basically what the film of Great Gatsby is all about, and love and debauchery and work hard, play hard. But the soundtrack is so different. So you've got everything from Jay-Z in it to Jack White to Lana Del Rey. It's so diverse, but it's all set to the sort of 1920s Prohibition times, and with a bit of a jazzy edge.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
It's not a cover of the U2 song, is it? Because I know that U2 did a song called Love is Blindness. Is that not? Is it? or is it
I think
an
it's
original
a different
song?
one. I'm trying to think now. I think it's a different version,
Right. Okay.
but not
See,
a cover.
are you a fan of Jack White then, Jess?
Yes, yeah. I think everyone's a fan of Jack White when you learn how to play the drums or the guitar, trying to play Seven Nation Army for the first time, because it's just like doof, 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 doof. And everyone knows the White Stripes because of that.
I've never been able to really get in. I can see why people would like him, but I've never been able to sort of get into him because I don't know. I don't know what it is about him that I just can't seem to. He's obviously a genius at what he does. He obviously is, but I just can't seem to get into what he does.
I think it was of the time a band like that, wasn't it? And because it was just so simplistic.
Yeah.
It's a Marmite band, I think. The White Stripes. Yeah,
possibly. Go on then, Neil. You're number 6.
Extreme Ways by Moby from the Bourne series. I've got a lot of respect for Moby in what he does. You don't sort of seem to hear much about him now, as big as he was. But he is still going, and the albums and songs are really still good. But Extreme Ways was on the 19 album, which followed Play. Obviously, Play had every song on every album, but he sold the rights to everything. I think it's an underlooked album, but the song is just really, I don't know, it's a song. Do you know the one I mean? Extreme Ways?
Do that again.
There you go. Bit of motivation.
So how does that one go? Would I recognise it if I heard it?
Yes, you would recognise it. It's a Moby song. You would surely recognise it.
Can you just hum a little bit of it for me?
No,
just did
because I wouldn't do any credit.
Well, I don't care. I don't know as soon as you hum it, I might know what it is.
No, but then if I hum it, you'll think it sounds like that, and it'll sound nothing like it.
Well, no, because then I might recognise it and go, well, then just do the synthesizers. Because I've got no idea. Moby is one of those ones that I might know 20 of his songs, but I don't know the names of any of the songs.
Right. Well, I'll let you find out. I'm not.
Just give me a couple of notes.
I can't. I really can't because I don't know how to do it.
The pressure.
Yeah. No.
Do you know this one, Jess? Do you know?
No, that's why I think you should sing it to us.
Yeah, thank you. See, 2 against 1.
No, because I really can't. I really can't. It's all synthesizers and mixing.
Well, then that's the easiest bit, isn't it? It's no lyrics.
Well,
is it?
Because it's like 20 different instruments at once.
Well, play one instrument.
There you go. It starts.
Oh, that one.
That
one.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. I recognise that one now.
You'll recognise it because you've obviously seen the.
You sounded
Bourne
like Bette Midler, actually.
Yeah. And how did that go?
Wow.
You'll recognise it because it ends with that.
Oh well, that's good then. I'm glad it ends.
The Bourne Identity, but they also used it in the. You've seen the Bourne Identity.
I have, yeah.
Right. Okay. You'll recognise it when you hear it because it is synonymous with the Bourne trilogy.
Such a tease, Neil. You're such a tease.
You need to experience these for the proper way.
Well, yeah, but like I say, any Moby song, you tell me the name of the song, and I have no idea what it is. Yet I probably hear the first 10 seconds of it, and I go, "Oh, I recognise that. I know what that song is."
Why does my heart? You know that one, wouldn't you? Feels.
Well, I'm saying it's no good telling me the title.
No, that's the
title.
It
to me.
Yeah.
That's all the lyrics is as well. Why does my heart?
And then you got 5 minutes of me.
Oh God! Okay,
I got a lot
you
of
can do an
respect for him.
impersonation of whoever it was. He did an impersonation of earlier on.
Dustin Hoffman.
See, Dustin Hoffman, but you can't sing a couple.
It was
of
that
bars
good.
of...
You remembered it.
You can't sing a couple of bars of Extreme.
I really
Ways by
can't.
Moby.
You'll understand why, because it's You understand.
All right. Okay. Okay. Right. My number 6 is from Moulin Rouge, and it's Your Song by Ewan McGregor. Again, I could probably have picked any song from Moulin Rouge. You talk about Baz Luhrmann, Jess. Have you seen the trailer for the Elvis movie that he's got coming out?
No, I haven't.
It looks amazing. It really does. And Tom Hanks as Colonel Parker is just, you wouldn't know it was Tom Hanks. I mean, as soon as you hear him talk, you know it's Tom Hanks, but you know, it looks amazing. The guy they got playing Elvis is weird. In some of the scenes in the trailer, he doesn't look like Elvis, and then some of the scenes he does. It looks like it's going to be.
I think it's going to be
amazing,
blast, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you know anything Baz Luhrmann put his name to, you're like, that's a good one to look out for.
Well, he hasn't made a film since The Great Gatsby, has he?
No.
So it's been a long time coming.
I do. I definitely like his style, the way that he makes. And Moulin Rouge is one of those movies. I think within 10 minutes of watching the start of Moulin Rouge, the first time I knew that I was going to love the movie, because it just fitted into the groove of what you love, and the way that they did the different songs. And your song is a song that I've heard a million times, the Elton John version, and the way that they actually ramped it up and made it even more emotional and beautiful. And I think the way Ewan McGregor sings it is fantastic. It shows just what a great singer he is, or he's one of those bastards that's got it all, hasn't he? He can sing, dance, he can act, he's in Star Wars, he does everything. But for me, there's that and Come What May, I think, are the two songs I really love.
The Elephant Medley was good.
The Elephant Medley was good. And that was the thing. My two of my daughters went to London to go and watch it live on the stage. And they left, I think, after about 25 minutes, because they did the Elephant Medley and there was things like Take On Me in it and a Katy Perry song. And they went, nah, fuck this bullshit. They went out and then went to go and get a drink instead, because they know Moulin Rouge like word for word. So they're like singing along, and then all of a sudden they put, and I can understand maybe from a performance point of view, they want to mix it up and put different songs in and maybe change it and make it a bit more contemporary for what the movie was. But my daughters hated it. They just wanted to sing it the way that it's in the movies. They said, no, we'll go and have a drink. So they've just found a bar in London and just went and had a few drinks instead. They were really, really disappointed because they were so looking forward. They said the set looked amazing. It looked fantastic when it started. And then they started like putting different songs in, and it just really turned them off. So they, but they went and saw Magic Mike the night after, so they were happy. They were happy.
Did they like that by any chance?
What, the Magic Mike? Yeah, they loved it. Yeah. I don't think they were worried about what songs were playing in that and whether they were stuck to the script on that one. I'm pretty sure.
What, they got music in that?
Well, I think there's some kind of, some music for them, the men to dance around to. I think. I don't think they were worried about what kind of music.
Knackering.
I bet it is, Neil. I bet you hum the words to that, wouldn't you?
No, I'm too busy dancing.
Go on then, Jess. Your number 5, then, please.
Okay, number 5 is from the film Bridget Jones's Diary, and it is Shaka Khan, I'm Every Woman.
Oh, you said that like you were on the radio then.
I did.
Expecting the music to just start. Good tune, though.
Yeah, it is a great tune.
Jones. I think, again, it was just a film of the time when it was... Oh, what's his last name? Hugh. I can't remember his last name.
Grant,
that's it. Yeah. I was going to say Hefner, but I was like, he's definitely not.
Oh, God, no.
He wasn't in that one, I'm sure.
Not. It was just a film of the time. And again, you watch it back now and you think, gosh, that was the early noughties. And such a great film. The soundtrack, again, is brilliant to it. And yeah.
It was a film series that got weaker as it went on, wasn't it? There's 3. I didn't really like the third one at all. No,
and everyone complains about Renee Zellweger's plastic surgery because she looked completely different to the first film.
That's right.
Yeah, she became my villain one year, didn't she, for the plastic surgery? I'm sure on the Pancast show, because she became unrecognizable.
Yeah, she was completely different. And the thing about the first one was it also had one of the most. Not that I've ever been in a fight, but I had one of the most accurate street fights ever, where Hugh Grant and Colin Firth are just like slapping and waving kicks at each other with no actual blows being. It wasn't a Hollywood fight at all, was it? It was just
a proper British fight, wasn't
exactly.
It?
Yeah,
and everyone was like, fight in the restaurant.
I haven't seen that film for ages.
No, me, long time.
But that was a very British kind of movie, wasn't it? It just felt like a very British kind of movie. But God,
it was another sensation, wasn't it, from the books? Really?
Yeah. Did they do? They did. Yeah, they did do 3, didn't they? Didn't she have a baby in the third one?
I can't remember.
Wasn't it called Bridget Jones's Baby?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I just can't remember.
Got locked up in a Thailand prison. Yeah, and then the third one, she had a baby.
What, in the Thailand prison?
No.
The third one was a real downer. It was a real. It wasn't a comedy at all. It was a gritty police prison drama.
Ended up with Gloria Honeyford, banged up Brits Abroad or whatever.
Yeah, or Bridget Jones, Midnight Express Part 2.
Yeah. Oh my lord! Yeah, directed by Alan Parker. That'd been great. I'd have watched that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, go on then, Neil. You're number 5.
Golden Years by David Bowie, not from Knight's Tale. It's one of my favorite David Bowie songs. I actually am a big fan of A Knight's Tale anyway. I think it's an underrated little family gem. I really do find it a lot of fun. When I showed it to my kids, they loved it. But I love the scene. It's the dance scene, and it's another one of those medieval films that uses modern music. You know, they're vast of those sort of films. But yeah, it's a great song. It's a real, jolly song, isn't it, for Bowie? I think, yeah. And I just love the whole scene of the dance, and it works so well.
That's the Heath Ledger movie, yeah?
Yes. Paul Bettany is in it as well.
Yeah.
I'd highly recommend, if you've never seen it, watching it. It's a great family film, and it's pure fun. There's nothing about it that's offensive. It's just a lot of fun. And yeah, he's a great actor, wasn't he, Heath Ledger? Really,
he's very good.
He was so good, so charismatic. Such a tragic waste, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Bringing it down again, Neil. Thank you.
The film 10 Things I Hate About You he was in with the floppy hair and
oh yeah,
that's right. Yeah. And of course,
Brokeback Mountain.
Brokeback Mountain. Yeah, of course. Yeah,
of course. He was with Jake Gyllenhaal or Gyllenhaal. Yeah.
And The Dark Knight, of course, which was the one that's posthumous Oscar for. Okay, my number 5 is a song at the start of a movie that even anytime I hear it now always brings a tear to my eye. It's Rainbow Connection by Kermit the Frog from The Muppet Show. I love this song.
Muppet movie, you mean?
What did I say?
Muppet Show.
You're right. Yes, the Muppet movie. Sorry. Thank you, Neil.
Just checking.
Yeah, he's just sat on his little lily pad with his banjo.
How does it go?
Why are there so many songs about rainbows?
Yeah, that's easy.
Ding. Well, thank you very much. See, I don't shy away.
Well, no, I wouldn't.
Something like that. I don't know how it goes.
Well, that was nearly there.
Paul Williams. It was written by Paul Williams, who wrote loads of like songs from this especially in the 70s that like were standards. I can't remember any of them now, apart from Rainbow Connection. But again, the Muppet movie is one of those movies that I absolutely love. I can just remember watching that the first time, and I was a massive fan of the Muppets, like when I was a kid. And this song just sets the whole movie off beautifully. Yeah, it's a
lovely song.
It's a beautiful song, Neil. Beautiful. I would recommend anyone just to go and just listen to the song.
Mind you, the Muppet movie is great.
It is great.
It's a great movie.
Thank you. I'm very proud of it. Thank you.
Good. Well done. Well done.
Okay, then, Jess, your number 4, please.
Okay, so number 4, I'm going for Back to the Future, Huey Lewis and the News.
Oh,
Have Love.
Nice.
Great song. Yeah, that was in my list that didn't quite make my top 10.
Really?
It's a great song.
My dad is an absolute super fan. His office is just covered in Back to the Future stuff. He's been to see the musical every Sunday. It's always on TV, and my mum's always complaining, but he loves it. And yeah, it's just such a great film. Really enjoy it.
It's on my list of a perfect movie. I think I've got probably about a dozen movies that I class as like Jaws is a perfect movie. The first Star Wars movie is a perfect movie, and Back to the Future is one of those movies that should never ever be remade.
No,
it's literal lightning hitting the tower clock in a bottle. And that song, I love songs where it's just the first couple of notes and you know what song it is. It's the it's Power of Love, and it's a great and. He turns up in the movie as well, doesn't he, Huey Lewis?
He does.
He's the when Mart is doing the shit. What was it? he's got a loud hailer thing, hasn't he? Telling him that he's just playing too darn loud. He's that teacher, isn't he?
Oh yes.
At the audition, when his group is auditioning to play the school gig or whatever it is.
Did your dad say the musical was good?
Yeah, he loved it. He was a bit nervous. Again, I think same with going to Moulin Rouge or anything of such a big name. You were a bit nervous thinking, are they going to do it justice? And he said they completely did. The amount of times he's watched that film, and he said the technicalities of the stage and how they bring that to life was amazing. So he really enjoyed it.
And so what songs are they? Songs specifically written for it, or are they taken like 80s songs and repurposed them? Or
I think they've just taken the soundtrack.
Oh, right.
From the film and then just produced it for musical theatre. I think it's still going at the moment.
Do they sing the power of? They must sing the power of love.
Yeah,
then.
Right, they do. Because I remember seeing it on TV when the cast did a performance at the London Mayor's Fair back in June, I think it was, and they did a performance of it there, like on the streets of London.
Oh, right.
Awesome. It'd be
Wonderful.
one I'd like to go and see. That would be a good one to see. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right, then you're number 4 then, Neil.
Hurt by Johnny Cash from Logan at the end of.
Oh, of course it is, yeah.
Perfectly to the tone of that movie. But also,
is that actually in the movie, is it?
Well, it's
I know it was on the trailer, but
yeah, it's in the closing credits. It starts at the end, obviously, when from the grave through. Yeah, it's what a song. I mean, we've spoken about it before on here. It's I think Johnny Cash's version is even better than Trent Reznor's version, you know, the 9 Inch Nails. And I'll probably get my head kicked in tomorrow from some of my mates who's saying that, but I prefer his version. It moves me.
Agree.
It moves me. And it is a beautiful song. Yeah. And Logan, great film.
Well, great film. One of the best trailers of that first trailer for Logan.
Yeah.
When it had the Johnny Cash song on it, it was like, just take my money. I just want to see this film.
And I prefer it in black and white as well.
Oh, it's great.
It's so much. I don't know why it makes it so much better, but it does. It really does. Have you ever seen Logan, Jess?
I haven't.
Oh, Hugh Jackman. Huge Jackman in that one. Yeah. No, it's good. And they don't shy away, do they? It shows
like
you how
hard
it's brutal.
Yeah, it's not a sugar-coated Marvel movie, superhero movie. It is gruesome and gritty in places, and but a great way for him to sort of sign off as Wolverine, wasn't it? It was a great movie.
It really is. And Stephen Merchant's in it, Jess.
And Stephen Merchant's in it.
Yeah,
he is.
It's quite a big role as well.
Off of the telly.
Yeah,
off of the telly with the Bristol accent.
Yeah. I think he still has a Bristol accent in it, doesn't he?
Sort of. Yeah. He tries to do a bit of an American, but you can hear the all right.
Yeah. You can't escape it, can you, when you're from the West Country?
No, you can't. Well, my number 4 is also with Mr. Hugh Jackman. And again, I could have picked any song from this, and anybody that knows me knows how much this film affected me when it came out. It's from The Greatest Showman. I've chosen From Now On, which is the song sort of near the end when everything's looking bad and everything's looking down. I've had a go at singing this one, and it's so hard to sing. There's a couple of bits in it that's quite easy to sing, but man, I mean, he is a guy that can do it all. Hugh Jackman, he's just amazing at everything, and he's great at everything he does as well. There isn't a dud song in the whole movie of The Greatest Showman, and From Now On, I think is a great song, let alone a great song from a movie. It's a great song, and I don't really know what else to say about it because I just start crying because it's The Greatest Showman. Anytime I watch it, I just start crying. It's crazy.
I heard rumor that they're doing a stage show of that now.
Well, it would make sense.
Perfect sense.
I would rather, because they've also been talking that they're going to do a sequel.
Oh, really?
And the thing is, I did a little bit of like fact diving in about P.T. Barnum, and he wasn't a nice man.
Not at all.
He wasn't a hero. He wasn't a hero. It was the way he treated the freaks that he called them.
Yeah.
He treated them not like he did in the movie. So I think it would be very hard for them to portray him as a hero again in another film. But it's tailor-made to go on the stage. It just is.
It is.
You know,
it is. You could audition for the main role, Pav.
I could audition for the bearded woman. Maybe I could audition for that.
Possibly.
I mean, you know, I could be
Stranger
I could
Things
be a
and all
they
that.
them, couldn't I? I could
Yeah.
go in and do it.
Bring the sass.
I could, absolutely. But yeah, you know, the first time I saw it, my wife was really worried because I sat there like with my arms folded all through it. And we came out of the cinema and she said, "You didn't like that, did you?" I said, "I fucking loved it. Oh my God, I gotta go and see it again." I just had tears streaming down my face all through it. And then every time I watched it afterwards, when it came out on Blu-ray, there was something about that movie. It's just like, because it's not, no pun intended, it's not the greatest movie. It's quite sort of full of stuff you've seen before. Do you know what I mean? And tropes and cliches, and you know sort of how it's going to end, kind of thing. But there's just that little sprinkling of magic in it. It's just I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. And we spoke, Neil, didn't we, for the This Country podcast? We spoke to the lady that wrote it,
Absolutely,
Jenny Bix, and that was forget about the American version of This Country. I wanted to just talk to her about The Greatest Showman because I wanted to find out all the stuff. But yeah,
do you like every character in it? How's my friend Zac Efron rate for you?
He's fantastic in it. He is fantastic.
He's another chap that I think is so underrated.
Oh my God.
He deserves to be a lot bigger than he is, because I think he's a great actor. He's great at singing and dancing. He's proved he's got it all.
And he can do comedy, drama.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what. He can do it. Yeah.
Yeah, and what he's a good looking chap, and
he's
he's delightful on the eyes, isn't he?
yeah. Even
but then I think the whole movie, I mean, Zendaya, whatever. I mean, she's just so talented. And also it's the way, it's weird how in one movie she can look like she's 15, another movie she can look like she's 30, but the way she acts, and she can sing and dance as well, is that's why they're in these movies, because they're like the top 1% of people that are talented and got it all. They never hit an ugly stick on the ugly branch on the way down the tree, did they?
A lot of them.
Yeah, where I was stuck in the ugly tree all my life. I never even got that. I'm just saying, bearded lady, I'll go for it. That's fine. Okay, then, Jess, your number 3, please.
Okay, my number 3 is from the film Pretty Woman, released the month I was born, so June 1990, and it is Kiss by Prince. The famous scene where she's in the bathtub in the hotel with her cassette tape, and she's doing and then Richard Grant, well, it's not Richard Grant.
Richard Gere.
Richard Gere. I'm getting all the wrong names today. I should have written this down. If only there was something I could research. Honestly. And it's just one of those films. Like, I can never get bored of watching, and it's just, I love it. The piano scene when he rolls up with the rose in the limo and sweeps her off her feet, and it's classy. Love it.
I haven't seen that film for a long time, but I must admit, and I'm not a massive fan of rom-coms as such, but I think that was one of the ones I pretty much enjoyed, because it was also the fact that those little moments of revenge. I love those like moments when she goes into the shop to start with, and she gets totally sort of blanked or told to leave, and then she comes back in. I love those kind of moments in movies, because it's just nice to see people get their, get the comeback, and
It's a quote that she walks into the shop and she goes, "I was the lady that walked in the other day and you didn't want my credit card. Big mistake. Huge." And I think just moments like that, really love that film.
It's great. It is great. And a fantastic song as well. Yeah, I did say in a couple of episodes ago about my thoughts on Prince and Kiss. It's a fantastic song, without a doubt. Go on then, Neil. You're number 3.
Needs no introduction. Eye of the Tiger, Survivor, Rocky 3. Still love it now. It's a real pumped up song, isn't it? When we all went to watch Rocky 3 at the cinema, we all came out and wanted to train with that soundtrack going. I bought the single. It's still on my playlist to this day. I just think it's a real positive song. Do you know what I mean? It's real uplifting, and there's nothing more to say about it. It's so popular. I think it's probably one of the, I'm going to use the horrible I word, but I think it's one of the most iconic movie songs out there, to be honest. I think everybody gets to know it and does know it. So,
and that is one song that is really hard to try and sing.
Have you tried it? Have you?
No, I wouldn't. I just wouldn't, because it would just ruin your throat, because that guy sings at the top of a range that like mere mortals can't get at. But I will say, I actually prefer Burning Heart from.
Do you?
Yeah, from Rocky 4. Rocky 4 was the the movie I watched where I went out and bought a punch bag and put in the family garage, and would get myself a pair of like grey sweat tops and sweat bottoms and put shorts on the top, and got one of those, what are they called, like a, not a bobble hat, what is it when it hasn't got a bobble on it?
Beanie.
Yeah, a beanie, that's it. Well done, Neil. And then go out into the garage, put that on, and then pretend I was rocking, yeah, do all that sort of stuff. But yeah, Burning Heart, although you're absolutely right, Eye of the Tiger is iconic. It is
iconic. There's no other way to say it.
Without a shadow of a doubt. Right there, my number 3 is from the movie Way Out West, and it's Trail of the Lonesome Pine by Laurel and Hardy. It's the first chance I've had to put Laurel and Hardy in any of these top 10s that we've done, and as a kid I've been brought up on Laurel and Hardy literally all my life, from my granddad to my dad to then myself, trying to sort of put it onto my kids, but because it's black and white, it's not anything worth looking at because it's black and white, it's old. Don't want to look at old stuff. And Trail of the Lonesome Pine, I can remember me and my brother performing it for the family, just pretending that, well, I would hit him over the head with something. I can't remember what I hit him over the head with. I honestly can't remember. Yeah, it might have been. It should have been a hammer. I don't mean it that way. I don't mean it should have been a hammer. I meant, to be accurate with the movie, it should have been a mallet. That's what it should have been, but I don't think it was. Fantastic song. I mean, I know that Neil's a massive Laurel and Hardy fan as well. Jess, are you a Laurel and Hardy fan?
I am. So, what was the film that was released a few years ago where
Stan and Ollie?
Yeah, I love that. And it's really just heartwarming but sad at the same time, just retracing their history, because for a younger audience that didn't really know about Laurel and Hardy, I thought that was a nice introduction to what they were all about. But of course, iconic, aren't they? Absolutely iconic.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually went on holiday to America back in the 90s, and we went over the Blue Ridge Mountains. Just as we hit the trail, I put that on the CD, it was tape then, on the tape player.
Did you?
Yeah, and we listened to it as we drove it up onto the Blue Ridge Mountains. Thought it had to be done.
And also, Way Out West is where the dance is, and of course we recreated that for one of our Pancast live shows, didn't we?
Did. And
how many hours of rehearsal did we do for that?
Oh, it was weeks. We really did try and get it right.
I wasn't joking. We actually did rehearse for weeks to get it right, didn't we? Oh my God.
It's not as easy as it looks.
It's not as easy as it looks. No. But it was fun though.
It was a lot of fun. Just shame nobody filmed it.
I know. And the MC Hammer one. No one filmed that either, did they? Never mind. Okay then, Jess, your number 2, please.
So we've already mentioned this film, but I've chosen a different song. So I've gone for The Greatest Showman and The Greatest Show, because if there's ever a time you need to feel pumped or to get you started for the day ahead, I just think it's amazing where it starts. Just the way it starts, you're instantly hooked. And what a way to introduce a film. And I remember this was just released when I lived in the Falkland Islands, and every time I DJ at the Gull and Penguin, that's what the Scotties would ask for, was can we have The Greatest Show? And we had sing-along versions in the cinema. It's just an amazing film. And same as you, every time I watch it I cry. Can't help it. It's just such a brilliant film.
Yes, Pav does a very good version of it.
Yeah,
he really does.
I must admit I was very lucky. Well, the last time they did the Phoenix Festival, I had a spot up there, and I started with that. And the trouble I have with that song, because I think we also didn't we start one of our Pancast live shows with it, didn't we? And my kids and my grandkids were in the audience, and all I have to do is watch them, and then the bottom lip starts going, which is very hard to sing when you got your bottom lip going. And it's the bit when he goes, everything you ever want, I was like, fuck, I'm gonna cry. And it's a great, like you say, to start a gig off with that song just gets everybody going, and it's just right again. You know what it is right from the first whoa. Everyone knows what song it is, and it's an amazing bit of songwriting. It just is. It's an amazing bit of songwriting. Well done, Jess. I'm glad we've got 2 Greatest Showman songs in there. Wonderful, but not a single duplicate so far.
So far,
unbelievable. Go on then, Neil. What's your number 2?
So I could have picked any song from this soundtrack from the Rocky Horror Picture Show, but I'm going to go with Sweet Transvestite because I do love the whole sequence of that, where it leads in to Eddie coming out the chiller and everything. I just, it's, I think I love all the songs, and I've seen it both on stage, and I'm a huge fan of the movie. I must watch the movie probably a couple of times a year. It's my feel-good movie. And I love the songs, I really do. But Sweet Transvestite shows Tim Curry at his best. There's another talented singer. You know, he really was a talent. And are you both a fan of Rocky Horror Picture Show?
Absolutely.
I was that was my number 11 was Rocky Horror, just because of Meatloaf. So my dad and I were on BBC Radio Gloucestershire a few weeks ago when Meatloaf passed, and because that was my very first gig when I was 3 years old, was seeing Meatloaf.
Wow.
And he was just such a talent, and to, you know, of course there's so many talented people in the Rocky Horror Picture Show, but yeah, Meatloaf always does it for me.
Yeah, I always like seeing Susan Sarandon in just her brown panties.
I thought it was Richard O'Brien, you kept telling me.
What, in brown panties?
Yeah.
I just like seeing anybody in brown. Neil, I'll see you in brown panties. I don't care.
Do you go full dress up when you go see it at the theatre? That is
I went to see it on the 25th anniversary. We'd been to London. I went with my friend. We'd been to a funeral, but it was an uplifting funeral, so we decided to go and see whether there was tickets available for any show, and there was tickets for the Rocky Horror Show. We went, we sat, and it was right on the front row, which isn't great, but behind us was a lady, a larger lady in all aspects, was in her basque, and my friend was bold, was bold. I mean, he's passed away now. And she's dancing around, and I look round, and we're sat there in our funeral suits, and he's got her lovely jubblies bouncing on his bald head. I couldn't stop laughing. It ruined the show for me because she's jigging around and it's slapping him like that. Honestly, they'd come right out of the basque, but I roared, and he was like, "Oh, for crying out loud!"
Did she know?
Oh, I don't know. Nobody seems to care. I mean, have you ever been to see it on the stage?
I've not, no.
I'd highly recommend it because it's very interactive. So when the wedding's on, they throw rice and bread gets thrown, and it's a bit raunchier than the movie on the stage.
Right.
So like the bit when Frankenfurter comes down and sleeps with both Brad and Janet, you have the silhouette, but you see everything. So pulling things off of things, and yeah, it's quite funny. It is funny. You've got to be sort of a bit liberal, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you see a lot of anatomy
I should book
in
my
the
tickets
audience
right now.
Dirty Dancing one's a theatre when we saw Gentleman's Backside, and that's as raunchy as I've ever seen in a theatre.
Oh, really?
Fun. So
I went to see Lenny with starring Eddie Izzard as Lenny Bruce, and it started with him full frontal nude on the stage. So I've never looked at Eddie Izzard the same way again.
That's one way to grab someone's attention.
That is. Goodness me. I didn't realise it was like that in the theatre, Neil.
Oh, man, there's a lot of nudity. They do a lot in these plays. It's
crazy.
Yeah, be careful.
Okay.
What are you going to see?
Yes. My number 2. Now, you'll know this song, but you may not know the title of it. So I'm going to tell you the title. The title is called Mad About Me. Have you heard of this song?
Remind.
No? It's from a little movie called Star Wars Episode 4 A New Hope by Figrin Dan and the Modal Nodes. It's the Cantina song. It's and I thought I have to have that because it's like a massive part of my life, and it's called Mad About Me. So I didn't realize that until this week. I can't remember the name of the other song because in that same scene they do play another song. After you see Han Solo, it goes back to the Cantina band, Figrin Dan and the Modal Nodes. But I can't remember what they called that song. But the original one, the one is called Mad About Me. So I must admit, when I did that, I thought, Neil's going to have this. He's going to have this in his top 10 because it's going to steal my thunder because I'm going to go, guess what song this is? But then Neil's going to do it like number 7 or something. But he didn't.
I didn't even think about it, to be honest.
There you go, see?
Didn't
There you
even
go.
think about it.
So that was my number 2. Right, before we reveal our number 1s, Jess, do you want to give us your rundown in your best broadcasting DJ voice from
Okay.
10 to 2?
So starting at number 10, we have Ali G and Majuli. At number 9, we have 50 Shades Freed, the Julia Michaels track Heaven. At number, I think I've lost my flow already of the numbers. I've mixed them up, so you might have to correct me. I think at number 8, Wolf of Wall Street, Mrs. Robinson.
No, that was number 7.
Number 8 was The Beaches.
That's it.
Bette Midler, The Wings Beneath My Wings when it's out of tune. Number 7, Wolf of Wall Street, Mrs. Robinson, The Lemonheads. Number 6, it is The Great Gatsby, Jack White, Love is Blindness. At number 5, we are at number 5, aren't we?
Yep.
Okay, cool. I haven't even had any wine today. You're welcome. Bridget Jones's Diary, Shaka Khan, I'm Every Woman. At number 4, we went for Back to the Future, Huey Lewis and the News of the Power of Love. At number 3, Pretty Woman, released in June 1990. It is Kiss and Prince, well, Prince and Kiss. And at number 2, The Greatest Showman, The Greatest Show.
Wonderfully done. Go on then, Neil. You're 10 to 2, please.
So at number 10, Running Up That Hill by Placebo from the movie Daybreakers. Number 9, Mr. E's Beautiful Blues, Eels from Road Trip. Number 8, Perfect Day, Lou Reed from Train Spotting. Number 7, Pinball Wizard, not Pimple Wizard, Pinball Wizard, The Who, Tommy. Number 6, Extreme Ways, Moby, Born Identity. No, I'm not singing it.
Okay.
Number 5, Golden Years, David Bowie from A Knight's Tale. Number 4, Hurt, Johnny Cash from Logan. Number 3, Eye of the Tiger from Survivor from Rocky 3. And number 2, Sweet Transvestite from the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Wonderful. And mine is at number 10, Singing in the Rain by Gene Kelly from Singing in the Rain. 9, Grease, Frankie Valli from Grease. 8 was Mrs. Robinson, Simon and Garfunkel by the from The Graduate. Number 7, Let the River Run by Carly Simon from Working Girl. 6, Your Song from Ewan McGregor. By Ewan McGregor from Moulin Rouge. 5, Rainbow Connection by Kermit the Frog from The Muppet Show. 4, From Now On by Hugh Jackman from The Greatest Showman. 3, Trail of the Lonesome Pine by Laurel and Hardy from Way Out West. And 2, Mad About Me, Figuring Dan and the Modal Nodes from Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. So Jess, what is your number 1 movie song of all time?
So my number 1 movie song of all time is from the film Top Gun. And it is You've Lost That Lovin' Feeling.
Oh, right. Okay.
The Righteous Brothers. Oh. I thought I was going to take a punt that it was Berlin.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, there's so many you could have chosen. So it could have been Berlin, Take My Breath Away. It could have been Highway to the Danger Zone. It could have been Great Balls of Fire, the famous piano scene. But I've chosen that one because there have been 2 incidences where that film has come up in my kind of BFBS career. So the first one, I was serenaded with that song by 200 people at a military function where they sang You've Lost That Lovin' Feeling in the Falklands. And I've been to the Top Gun bar in San Diego where they filmed the famous piano scene.
Oh, right.
Yeah. It's just a great film, isn't it? Everyone wanted to be a pilot after watching that, and I think probably one of the most anticipated films to be released since COVID. Of course, we had Bonds, which took long enough, but this has taken forever.
Yeah,
for Top Gun 2 to come out. So that is my number 1.
When is Maverick due out, by the way?
I think it's June.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Blimey.
Yeah, I just wanted to be able to play volleyball like they did. I wasn't worried about it being getting all oiled up.
It was the showers afterwards you wanted to be part of.
Let's not make it smutty, Neil. Come on, there's ladies present.
The facts are facts, Mom.
There's bearded ladies present. Come on. Right then, Neil, you're number 1.
So it's Little Green Bag, George Baker's selection from Reservoir Dogs. I think one of the greatest opening songs and opening credit bits or whatever you would see pre-title sequence of any movie, and I love that song. I genuinely love that song, and I love the use of Tarantino did with it at the beginning of that movie. It was like a shock, wasn't it? A jolt. You're hearing a song that you didn't really know but you feel like you did, used in a movie. I think he revolutionized movie soundtracks.
Oh,
I
without a
really
doubt.
do.
Yeah.
But yeah, great song and great use of it as well. That slow motion walk, that we hadn't seen that before. I mean, if you watch Peaky Blinders now, the whole freaking show is slow motion, pretty much.
Yeah.
But
and the title's going up as well, if I remember correctly, which was something that you hadn't seen before.
Yeah, no, it was just great. Yeah, great opening credits.
Good choice. So I don't know if this is the first time in 30 odd episodes, but we haven't had one single duplicate.
Wow.
Will that change
so many.
with my number one? Will that change? No, it won't. No. My number one, everything I do it for you. Bryan Adams, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, mainly because this was like mine and my wife's song. I mean, I think was it 16 weeks at number one or something, and everybody got sick and tired of the song. But it's the only song that I've danced with someone in a cinema. We waited, and I don't even think we waited. We just were sat watching the film, and then the song comes on at the end, and everyone else had left the cinema. So me and my wife just had a bit of a smooch and a dance in the aisles, which was really, really nice. Oh. And the movie, I don't think the movie's. I love the movie. Don't get me wrong. I love the movie, but it's definitely one of those movies that you can see holes in it, and you can see. I don't know, lots of bits that's wrong with the movie, but I do love that movie. It's something of its time, I think. Kevin Costner not even bothering to try and do an English accent. He just carries on, with his Midwestern drawl or whatever it is. But it's a fantastic song. So yeah, to look at that, 30 separate entries. So with a video playlist that will go with our Patreon, look, you'll have 30 videos to watch. So come and sign up to the Patreon with that. We had a couple of honourable mentions. Let me just put them up. There we go. Karen Clark said, "You'll Never Walk Alone" from Carousel. The original version of the song. So I'm assuming she doesn't support Liverpool. She just wanted the song from Carousel. At Kimansuna Mendez 1101 said, "Purple Rain" from Purple Rain. Don't You Forget Me from The Breakfast Club, and If You Leave from Pretty in Pink.
Yeah.
So that was a good one. At below_average_man has to be Think by Aretha Franklin from the Blues Brothers.
That is great.
Again, fantastic. I mean, you could choose any song from the Blues Brothers. It's a fantastic.
They're all great, aren't they?
And at Noah Andy, hello Andy, one of our previous guests, Gary Jules' Mad World from Donnie Darko. So there you go. That's it. That's our top 10 movie songs, which will go. It's going to be nice in a couple of weeks' time. We've got top 10 musicals. So I think we might have a few sort of crossovers with that one. But that was fun, Jess. Wasn't that fun? So what are you up to these days then? I mean, it's been so long since we've had a chat.
I know, since the last time I saw you in person, had like a proper hug.
Yeah.
I've lived in Cyprus, I've lived in the Falkland Islands, in Bahrain. So I'm very lucky to be a radio presenter for BFBS, the Forces station. So we are basically a military radio station for the armed forces. We've got stations all over the world, and now I'm based back in the UK for the time being. I'm off to Malta next week. So we're recording a documentary about Malta getting the George Cross 80 years ago during the war. And yeah, it's like a proper history geek. I love this kind of stuff, and getting to play music and chat for a living is not bad, is it? So I really love it.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, I'm sure there'll be a time when we can have a proper hug again.
Love it.
I'm sure we will. Let us know next time you're in the Shire. And
I will do. I'll be back soon. My brother's getting married this year. Which is because you probably remember my brother from when he was yay high, and now he's grown up and getting married.
I hate it when you see people that we used to remember as oh yeah, it just shows you how time never stops, does it? So but yes, let us know next time you're in the Shire, and we'll get together and have a drink and make sure the police aren't following you and stuff like that. Right, Neil, do you want to tell everybody how they can get in touch and get involved?
Of course I can. So you can find us on all social media at Top 10 Pods. Do give us a click, give us a like and a follow. You can email us at toptenpods@hotmail.com. Please send us what top 10s you'd like to hear. Come and help support the podcast at patreon.com/top10pods, where you can get rewards such as our episodes, super early bonus episodes, behind the scenes videos, and even a chance to be a guest on your own show. Then check out all our links via Linktree. You can find the link in the show notes. And please do come and subscribe and leave us a review and rating on wherever you get your podcasts from.
Wonderfully done. And we have new merch as well. So we've got the top 10 caps, although it does look really dirty on the screen. I'm not sure why it doesn't look that dirty. We got the t-shirts. We've now got mugs. So if you look on the show notes, there is a link there. And if you're a Patreon subscriber, you do get discount from our merch as well. So come and join our Patreon. Obviously, we've got the new video playlist as well. What else? I think that's it. Jess, thank you so much for joining us. It's been lovely to see you. It really has. Lovely to see that lovely smile. It's been so long. Thank you so much
for inviting me. I've really enjoyed it. It's been
good. You'll come back again. We'll find another.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. That's all we need to know. Thank you very much, Neil.
Thank you very much, Jess. Thank you very much, Pav.
Thank you. Thank you again, Jess.
My pleasure.
And thank you, everybody. And let's start the countdown.
10.